Shalom. I want to start off by saying Kohol Limla, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the head apostles of GMS and a salute to the Yakins that are tuning in. I'm the servant the bar, GMS Boston, coming back with another show. This time I have an article here by this killing of this Japan's a minister of Japan. So this is by APnews.com. It says terrorism, Abe killing seen as attack on Japan's democracy. Now they claiming that this wasn't a politically motivated hit, but I have a hard time believing that. If you look at what's going on, not everybody wants democracy in Japan. You also got to keep in mind, what America did over there in Japan in the end of World War II, which they dropped nuclear atomic bombs, atomic bombs, on two Japanese cities, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Okay, and like I'm gonna get into, in this lesson, Lord's will, is that America or the people of the world have to, are forced to accept America because America is that hammer. All right. America is the hammer that these elites use to pretty much bend all these nations to their will. But not everybody wants the American ways. All right. Now it says an attack on democracy and freedom of speech, a throwback to the political murderers of pre-war Japan, terrorism. And, it's very hypocritical because they claim, democracy and the freedom of speech when in reality there is no freedom of speech. There's a lot of censorship going on, not only here in America, but also in Japan. Okay, there's a lot of censorship of many things because these elites don't want their secrets to be out there, man. They don't want the people pretty much thinking, They don't want people pretty much getting hip to what they're doing. All right. So it says public outrage, hand wringing, and vows of defiance by politicians and on social media are widespread following the daylight assassination by homemade gun of former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. Okay. A major political force even after he stepped down in 2020 as the nation's longest service political leader. The bullet pierced the foundation of democracy. The liberal Asahi newspaper, a regular foil of the conservative, sometimes history revisionist Abe, said in a front-page editorial after the killing, "We tremble with rage. Part of the collective fury is because crime is so rare in Japan where it's not uncommon to see cell phones and purses laying unattended in cafes. Gun attacks are vanishingly rare, especially in recent years, and especially in political settings, though they have happened. But the shock can also be traced to the setting. Abe was killed near a crowded train station in the middle of a campaign speech for parliamentary elections, something that Japan, despite a long history of one-party political domination and growing voter apathy, takes seriously. Mikito Chinen, a writer and doctor, declared on Twitter that he voted Sunday because it's important to demonstrate that democracy will not be defeated by violence. It says this attack is unique, marking the first assassination of a former or serving leader in post-war Japan, said Mitsuru Fukuda, a crisis management professor at Nihon University, and its consequences could be grave. Now, there's a quote here. Our society may have become one where politicians and dignitaries can be targeted any time, and that is making people uneasy about getting attacked for freely expressing their views, Fukuda said. Many here remember the political and social turmoil of pre-war Japan when the authorities demanded unquestioned obedience on the home front as imperial troops marched across Asia. It was the antithesis of democracy, a time when assassinations, government intimidation of dissidents, and curbs on free speech and assembly were rife. Okay, and here's actually a point. It says in modern liberal democracies, political killing is almost unheard of, though there are still examples of political violence such as the January 6, 2021 insurrection of the U.S. Capitol in Washington. The motive of Abe's suspected gunmen who was arrested after being tackled by security isn't yet clear, though police and media reports indicate that it wasn't political. It was a bunch of bullshit. It was political, all right? Because, they said that, you can leave a purse. See what it said here? You can leave a purse or a phone unattended, and it won't get stolen because crime is so low. And you mean to tell me that, this was just a robbery or just a killing just because, this is pretty much the people. Some people in Japan, all right, that have a problem with the with the leadership, man, with democracy, with the American ways. They're sick and tired of it, man. And this is all prophecy. Second Ezra 15:16 says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. In the course of their actions shall stand in their power." All right. So the scriptures prophesy that there will be sedition. Okay. America, of course, being the hot spot, because there's gonna come a point in time where people are gonna uproar against the government. Okay, people are gonna uproar against the government. There's gonna be martial law, right? As if we keep reading here, it says, "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able." Okay, so that's martial law, where you have a blockade and you can't go inside a city, and this is gonna be happening in a lot of countries that practice democracy too, man. There's a lot of countries that don't like and don't accept the American ways, man, because the American ways are nothing more than detrimental. They break up families, okay? The father's out the house, okay? And that's part of that wine. The women become free to do whatever the hell they want, dress up like sluts and so forth and so on. All the madness that you see here in America. All these other countries are also adopting it, man, and some people are not with it, man. And this is why, a lot of these nations are gonna be more than happy and glad to shoot missiles to America, man. They're going to shoot intercontinental ballistic missiles. Okay? This is Jeremiah 51:7. It says, "Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad," man. And that's exactly Japan. In Japan, you got McDonald's all over the place. You got a McDonald's pretty much in every corner. You got cities that imitate New York, okay? And what? Now you got people that are super obese, probably obesity through the roof over there. I haven't looked at the stats, but I'm pretty sure, I seen clips of before World War II, and them Japanese, they're into eating healthy, they're into eating once a day or whatever, plant based, and some of them live quite long. Okay, but once America and the industrial way went over there, that was all out the door. The average common citizen, wants to pretty much be like an American. Okay, and like I said, a lot of people are not with that, man. Okay, but that's the hammer. Okay, that's the hammer. And that's that golden cup. Babylon being America, because the word Babylon goes into confusion. This is the place of confusion, and this confusion is also adopted by all these other nations, man. By these other nations. And some nations are fighting tooth and nail to get this wine, not to come near them, man. All right. So this is Jeremiah 50:23. Says, "How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations?" And that's what's gonna happen, because this is the hammer of these elites, all right? This is the hammer that has been going around dropping bombs when you don't accept their ways, when you don't accept democracy. There was a foreign leader, a political leader, can't remember the name, that said that democracy was the biggest weapon ever formed. And it's true, because this is the excuse that these devils use to go in, invade a country and make the whole world believe that what they're doing is right or is righteous, when in reality it's all in wickedness, man. It's to go over there and steal, man. They did the same thing with Iraq, Afghanistan. You know, they would pretty much cause a false flag attack, you know, just to go over there and steal. Okay. But, you know, this is why America is going to be completely destroyed. Why the Lord has raised up America to be the might, the imperial might that it is so that it can destroy it. Okay. As a matter of fact, let me see. This is Exodus 9:16. It says, and in every deed for this cause have I raised thee up, for to show in thee my power, and that my name may be declared throughout all the earth. Now this is talking about Pharaoh, man. You know, Pharaoh is a prime example of how the Lord moves, man. What he can do, you know, because there's always glory or more glory in bringing down the bigger opponent. You know, the one that's deemed impossible to tame. You know, impossible to take down. When he's taken down, whoever took him down is going to get more glory. It's common sense. You know. Now the Lord is so powerful and bad. He has the power to give power unto a nation, you know, a kingdom, an empire, or a king, you know, and build him up as much as he wants, you know, and then bring him down, man, so that the whole world can understand the magnitude and the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. Okay. This is a power that wiped out, you know, almost the entire world at one point, drowned everybody. Okay, so this is the Lord ain't playing, man. You know, he will utterly show no mercy, man, to some people, man. Okay, and America has a lot to pay for, you know, for pretty much you know, spreading wickedness throughout the planet. Okay, the scriptures say that the sins of this place have reached to the heavens. As a matter of fact, let me grab that. All right, this is Revelations 18:5. As a matter of fact, let me grab the chapter. Revelations 18:3. As a matter of fact, let me start at the first verse, because this is going into what I'm talking about. This is Revelations 18:1. It says, and after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitations of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Okay, and that angel, of course, talking about our Lord, and Babylon is talking about America. Okay, and America will fall, and the reason why it will be the habitations of devils is because it's going to become a desert. Okay, from after all the nukes hit it, America's gonna burn for a period. Okay, and then that once the flames go out, you know, this is gonna be a barren desert where nobody's ever gonna dwell but desert creatures. It says, for all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornications with her. Right? You see, because America lays in bed with all these kings, man. America makes pacts. America, you know, makes treaties. And not only that, also, all these other countries adopt the philosophies and the ways of America, which is wicked. Okay, it's wicked, man. Homosexuality is wicked. Lesbianism, all right? Pedophilia, you know, adultery, everything that's contrary to the word of the Lord is practiced here in America, and all these other nations adopt it, you know, or they don't have a problem with it. You know, they accept those ways, those wicked perverse, abominable ways. You know. So it says, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies, man. And right, because America's a consuming nation, man. All these people in the world, all these nations, they trade with America. You know, they bring their goods, you know, and they sell it here to America. And you Americans are consumers. It says, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. It says, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquities. You see that? So this place is so far wicked, man, that is reached to the heavens, man. And this is why the Lord is getting ready to destroy America. America needs to be destroyed. Okay? And truth be told, once America gets put down, you know, all these other kings, or I should say, the heathens are gonna be joyous, man. As a matter of fact, let me grab that. Let me grab this. Proverbs 29:2 says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. And this is a prime example that people are mourning, man. All right. You know, the only reason why you would go and kill a leader is because if you believe deep down in your heart that your leadership is making you suffer, man. Okay. And that's exactly what's going on. You know, the people around the world are suffering because they adopted the American ways. You know, they let America into their country, and then they go and ransack the country. They take all the natural resources, leave you bare, man. Look at Venezuela. Because Esau Edom, the so-called white man who is, you know, in charge of America, in charge of the majority of the world, he's unequitable, man. Okay, he's not fair. You know, he's unrighteous. He's the wicked the Bible speaks of, man. So, you know, he uses the military might of America, you know, talking about the elites of Edom, all right, to steal all your natural resources, man. They got things like economic hitments, all right, that will make a nation go into debt to them. And really their intention is for that nation to be in perpetual debt, man, never ending. Okay? And that's what these elites do, man. So the scriptures say, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. And in our kingdom, we're gonna be equitable. All these other heathens, all these other nations, they're gonna have their fair share, man. You know, they're gonna have, you know, the whatever land, you know, gets distributed to them. You know, whatever piece of land, because, you know, you got to let them be around, let them live, you know, because they were created for our sakes. Okay, so once they serve their purpose, you know, we're going to deal equitable with all these nations, man, including Ammon, which in this case, these are Ammonites. All right, just so-called Japanese are Ammonites. Okay, and then they're going to be rejoicing because they don't have to deal with their women out of order. You know, they don't have to deal with at McDonald's in every corner. They don't have to deal with the BS of democracy, man. You know, they're gonna follow the law, statutes, and commandments because according to the scriptures, they're gonna come to us because this is why the nation of Israel, the elect, is called Tazion, which means monument, because we're gonna be the model, okay, of how the world should be. Okay, our law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, the way we live is going to be the model of the world, man. Okay, and then everybody's going to be happy, man, in a way, you know, in a good way, because at the same time, no, these nations don't want to be conquered. You know, they don't want to be tributary to us, you know, which they're going to be tributary, but they're going to be in better case than under the rule of an unrighteous, unequitable ruler, such as Esau Edom. Okay, the so-called white man. All right, he's unequitable. He builds towns by blood. He goes in and destroys, man. Okay, going into that red horse. He is that red horse spoken of in the book of Revelations, where everywhere he goes, death and hellfire. I'm gonna end it with this. Revelation 6 and 8 says, "And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed him, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with sword and with hunger and with death and with the beasts of the earth." Everywhere this man goes, everywhere Esau Edom goes, that's the end. You can see that in that movie Apocalypto, when the Spaniards arrived. That was the end of the movie, because that's true. Everywhere these Edomites go, it's nothing more. The peace, the tranquility that was there is gone. It's gone everywhere they go. There's all kind of hunger. There's all kind of hell on the people. All right. There's all kind of mischief, wickedness, you name it, man. So once this devil gets put down, man, everything will be set in its proper order. Okay. And, these people will be out of their misery, man. Because these people are miserable, especially these Ammonites, man. They can't forget, or they ain't never gonna forget what they did in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, man. That was cruel, man. That was brutal. Okay, but again, the so-called white man, Esau Edom, he's not equitable. He's not fair. He don't play fair. He don't play by the rules. You see, Israel will play by the rules, which the rules are the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, which is what's gonna make us an equitable, reasonable nation, man. Okay, so America will be destroyed. All right. Not every nation wants this democracy thing, and believe it, man. These nations eventually are gonna shoot nuclear missiles to America. So hopefully this was edifying.